Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Daniel Rosehill. So I wanted to talk today about the pros and cons of buying from Amazon and buying from Aliexpress, especially if you're living somewhere off the beaten track of where Amazon deliver to, such as where I'm based in Israel. So Amazon is pretty famous. I doubt there are many people that haven't heard of Amazon. Global colossal name in e-commerce, and there are a bunch of different Amazon marketplaces. Now, an Amazon marketplace is basically an Amazon website, something like amazon.com, amazon.co.uk, amazon.de, amazon.it, that's Italy, Germany, UK, and the US, and the list basically goes on and on. There are a lot of different Amazon marketplaces, and each Amazon marketplace is sort of its own fiefdom. It's got its own inventory, typically has its own customer support team, even has its own fulfillment centers and logistic networks. Now, I briefly worked as a CSA, as a customer support associate at Amazon, after I left my last office job in Ireland and before I moved to Israel. So I had a little brief exposure to the internal workings at Amazon, but suffice to say it's really, really big. But Amazon also make this crazy commitment to their customers. Now, I know that there are a lot of people who are anti-Amazon, against Amazon's dominance, the conditions, working conditions at Amazon FCs, their fulfillment centers. I'm not going to comment about that. I'm just looking at it from a consumer perspective. And to be honest, I don't really know enough to know about what kind of conditions exist at Amazon or Aliexpress for that matter, to know which is better and which is worse. So that's Amazon, and Amazon's advantage is really that its label is that it's the most customer-centric, or they're trying to build the most customer-centric company in the world. They take customer service to a crazy, crazy level. And the advantage of that with Amazon is really that you can rest assured that if you buy something from Amazon, like a camera monopod, and it doesn't work, or it's defective, or the description on the website isn't what you actually received, they're going to take care of you somehow, typically, whether that's getting you a replacement product, issuing you a refund. Sometimes they even do a returnless refund. You don't even need to return the thing. And if you're based in the US, the options for returns are insanely good. There's UPS drop-offs. You can drop stuff off to Amazon lockers. You have a ton of options. They make it really easy. Now, what's Aliexpress? Aliexpress is not that. Aliexpress is the consumer B2C, business to consumer arm of Alibaba. Alibaba is this massive website for business to business sales. So if you're importing stuff from China, the Far East, and selling it in Europe or the US, then Alibaba is where a lot of people would go to put out RFPs. That means they're going to be getting bids from prospective vendors, find suppliers in China, and order stuff in bulk from them. Now, you can actually order from Alibaba as a consumer. We did this for our wedding. We got some custom printed bags from Alibaba, but it's really kind of complex. You have to go for commercial shipping terms, and you really need to know what you're doing. It's not streamlined. Aliexpress is kind of like a poor man's Amazon. It's very streamlined. You want your monopod, you search for camera monopod. A lot of the stuff has free shipping. You hit the buy button, you give it your address, you attach your credit card to Alipay, and you pay for your things and it arrives. Now, there are definitely a few differences besides those similarities. The first is that Amazon has pretty great customer service. Aliexpress has pretty terrible customer service. In fact, it would be hard for me to think about a major online marketplace or buying website that sucked more badly at customer service than Aliexpress. It's almost like Aliexpress does not have customer service. If you can manage to find it at all, it's buried somewhere in the help section, and you need to speak to a bot, and you hope that that bot passes you over to a human. If anything goes wrong with the stuff you buy on Aliexpress, such as the camera monopod, then you have to open a dispute with the merchant, or that's the kind of most normal way to try get your money back. If you buy something that's either DOA, dead on arrival, or it's defective in some way, then you typically need to open disputes, and the merchants really don't like you opening disputes. They often send you messages pleading with you to close the dispute, and it's just not a streamlined process, or the kind of process that most Western consumers would expect. Now, there's an additional thing, and that's the logistics. The default untracked logistics on Aliexpress are painfully slow. Stuff takes, where I'm based in Israel, it'll take like between Sometimes 2 weeks is very, very quick, but more like 30 days. I've had stuff from AliExpress take as long as 3 months to come to Israel. Now compare that to America. I just came back from the US for a few weeks. I did an Amazon Prime trial, and it's like a different universe. You get overnight delivery for free in a lot of urban areas if you're a Prime member. Even if you're somewhere not so urban, like you're in a remotish part of Cape Cod, delivery can take like 4 business days, and people complain about that. But compared to AliExpress, this is like lightning fast. So one, delivery is better, and secondly, the customer service is so much better on Amazon. If there's anything goes wrong, you go on to Amazon customer support. They don't try to hide it from you in these crazy navigation menus. There aren't bots. I mean, there is a bot, but it's like an easy bot that tries to like resolve stuff for yourself. You can chat with the CSA, they can phone you back, you can correspond by email, and they will do basically everything in their power to keep you happy, whether that's issuing you with a refund, taking in a return, or just making sure you get the right product. So there's a few more things that Amazon does entirely better than AliExpress. One trivial thing for many people that actually really matters for me is AliExpress limits you to like 10 wish lists. Like that's as many wish lists as you can keep on your account. So if you're like me and you kind of build out a bunch of wish lists to plan out, let's say I'm currently buying my camera accessories, Ali will cut you off, Amazon will not cut you off. The Ali website frankly sucks, and I've been on AliExpress many times that the website's crashed or the website's been slow. And for a multi-billion-dollar company that's controlled by Alibaba, you kind of feel like they can do a bit better than this. So personally, I buy from AliExpress only because I live in Israel. And because I live in Israel, it's not that Amazon doesn't exist here. They sell a very small selection of their inventory here, and frequently the shipping costs are just don't make ordering worthwhile. So we have this rule in Israel that if you buy stuff over $75, you end up paying 17% in VAT. And the customs authority here is also really, really strict about stuff being brought into the country. So if you buy stuff from Amazon, you supply Amazon with your national ID document, they tell you the import duties up front, and it's just a much more streamlined process. So even if you do have to pay those kind of overage fees, Amazon should be able to tell you what to expect. The downside is, of course, that you can commonly find that something like this $10 camera monopod will cost $10 for the monopod, but $30 for shipping. And that just kind of tends to make it not so worthwhile to buy from Amazon. And that's basically the only reason that I buy a lot of stuff from AliExpress. And I'm pretty sure that applies across Israel, that if most consumers had the option of doing something like Amazon Prime or buying from AliExpress, I reckon 99.9% of people would probably go with Amazon, because, not to hate too much on AliExpress, but I've just had way too many experiences of stuff breaking down. When that happens, their support is useless or non-existent. And even when stuff goes right and you just want to ask a question about things, you can't really get through to anybody at AliExpress. So I maintain that it's like a poor man's Amazon. It's definitely a very much inferior shopping experience compared to buying on Amazon.com or any of the Amazon marketplaces for that matter. So I hope that video has been useful. If you are based in Israel, you're probably going to find a lot of your friends are ordering from this crazy Chinese website called AliExpress. Those are the reasons, and that from my perspective is the difference in buying merchandise from Amazon and from AliExpress. Hope the video is useful. If you'd like to get more video content from me, please feel free to hit the subscribe button.